Welcome to Two Gents, where two seasoned gents take on the hard truths of life, success, and responsibility. In a world where the rules don't bend for us, these gents believe in doing the work, owning the struggle, and inspiring others to take action. So, pull up a chair.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Two Gents Podcast with our bomber. The bomber's in tonight. We was sitting back in the background discussing some things. This is going to be one of those shows that we're gonna try to educate you, take you somewhere, and get you to a point where hopefully when it comes time to vote, we're going to have this show probably about 3 or 4 more times before the midterm elections. But this is one of those educational shows where we got to get into. So, Pastor Riggins,
yes, sir.
I don't want to go too far into the show, but I want to tell y'all, Pastor Riggins was in North Carolina, North Kakalaki this week.
Yes, sir. We're glad to be part of. It was a conference called Community of Champions. Community of Champions is a prayer line that comes on Monday through Friday, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central Time, early in the morning. But it's pastors, evangelists, lay leaders that all come together and pray. Well, they have a conference every year, and this year they brought it to North Carolina. But the theme was us being involved in the community. What is the impact of the Black church and community? They went all the way back to Ethiopia, Baron. They went all the way back to Ethiopia of the Christian church being in Ethiopia, and how the church was represented in the Bible, all the way back, all the way through all the centuries up into the United States, dealing with civil rights issues, with slavery, civil rights issues, and now present day. And so they have been seeing me on this show. I'm my bishop. I've been with him since 1999, and he knows my spiritual walk, but he has seen me involved in this and this as a historian. So they invite me to be part of a roundtable, and from that roundtable, I was able to interject the spiritual side and the political side and the community side, just like we do here. And I shared it with Ron, and you can take it from there, Ron. I really had a good time representing.
I did. Byron Glass, if you still got your thing on, go ahead and say hi to the people. Yeah, he's gonna wave his hand, and we're good till he can talk again. You see, guys, his moon roof open, so he ain't trying too hard. He's trying to relax. He said his throat was messed up, and he must have been doing something. So if he want to chime in, he will get an opportunity to chime in.
I got strep throat.
Oh. Yeah, lean back so me and Pastor don't get it.
Yeah, I got strep throat.
Yeah, lean back so me and Pastor don't get it. I understand. Hey, anyway, I just want to tell y'all, this show today, voter turnout and voter education and awareness. This was some of the stuff that Pastor and them touched on. And Pastor said it was a round table discussion, but it looked like he was at the head of that table when I saw him. He wasn't in the crowd. Now, it was professors, doctors, and some other people that was out there that gave some good input, but they all was referring back to Pastor. So don't take Pastor Riggins for granted. There's some other people out there that respect him, and we do here. So I just want to say, we got to do something about this upcoming election, and if we don't do anything about it, as Glass always say, we're doomed. We're running into no man's land if we don't try to change things right now. Am I right, Pastor? I'm just talking for a little bit.
Here's two things. Well, I'm gonna address the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
The big beautiful bill, as they call it, big ugly bill. They want everything to take into effect December 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they want that? They're hoping that nobody feels the impact of it for the 2026 election in November.
Mm-hmm.
But the word is already out there. People are already getting nervous. Inflation is already coming in because of the tariffs. Some people worried about Medicaid. So we're hoping that even though they're trying to stave off the actual implementation and full throat impact of that bill after the elections, we want that to be the driving force of the election, the issues. Okay. Mm-hmm. The second thing is, and we're going to talk about this tonight, Trump knows also that he's only a few seats ahead in the House. So even right here in Texas, he's trying to redistrict 5 seats to make it look like to the Republican base can have more advantage. Those 3 of those seats include where Representative Al Green is in, the seat that Sheila Jackson Lee had, that both ones in Houston. That's a third one in Houston also, and Jasmine Crockett in Dallas is another one. And he's asked for the governor. The governor starts the special election. Special session starts next week. He asked for the governor of Texas to find a way to redistrict those seats, those areas, to try to get the turnout of Republicans to try to win those districts.
And Pastor, I'm glad that you brought that up, because as I was listening to our favorite, internet radio station, satellite radio station, I give them credit, Urban View today. I was listening to one of the, I think her name is Miss Edwards, and they was interviewing Miss Edwards, and she's running for the 18th congressional seat. Right now, Sheila Jackson Lee's, I think, daughter is filling it, if I'm right.
Yeah, I believe it. Because passed away, Sylvester Turner passed away after winning it. Yeah,
and I don't know if she gets a vote in the Congress, because I heard the lady named Miss Edwards, she say, if we would have filled that seat, she would have been tying vote, and this thing would have never went through. But that goes back to what we were saying. And like I said, I don't know how true that was, but that is what she said on.
But let me tell you what happened, though, why we couldn't fill the seat. We have a Republican governor in Texas. He won't call a special election. See, and he purposely did that, not to fill that seat, to hold back that's holding back a Democratic. And Trump is telling them what to do. We had a newscast. I just watched a newscast about 30 minutes ago. Trump asked Governor Abbott to redistrict 5 areas.
I think it's about three or four more states that I think that I heard on the Urban View that they're trying to do the same thing. And I think all of them have Republican governors within that state. Yeah. And the bigger portion of what you just got through saying, Pastor, Tarrant County then already did it. In case y'all didn't know what Tarrant County is Dallas. So you better pay close attention to what Jasmine, what Crockett is saying right now, because she may not be there.
What she's trying to do, though? Run for the Senate.
Oh, she's trying to run for Senate?
Yeah, against John Cornyn.
Okay.
John Cornyn. She's trying to run, against John Cornyn. She's trying to run for the Senate. But Colin Allred is also trying to run. He's a Democrat. I don't want them to X each other out.
It's somebody else out there trying to run too that's a Democrat. I can't think of the name right now. Yeah. But you're right. They are going to X each other out. And the difference is that Jasmine Crockett is in the Congress right now, but she might not, if she don't get the Senate seat, Cornyn gonna be a hard person to beat in Texas. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. Wasn't it no, did Colin Allred run against Ted Cruz or John Cornyn?
He ran against Ted Cruz.
Okay, yeah. So now they get ready to run against John Cornyn.
Yeah. Pastor, before we get into this, sometimes when you hear people talk, and I was fortunate enough to hear a conversation last night that I want to share with you and Glass real quick before we get into the nitty and the gritty, as we say. But, I want to see how the other side talk, because we get on this radio and we share, we're basically in the same ballpark. Some of us are up and some of us are down. I'm talking about as far as money. Neither one of us, I don't think, is a billionaire or a trillionaire or nothing like that. Not unless one of y'all are, because I'm not. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm not.
Glass left.
Yeah. So, have you ever just wondered if you could be a fly on the wall in one of those meetings and just to hear how they feel, how they go about doing their business? I want to play this, and I want you to think about what happens. Just entertainment for a minute, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
I go the people with that one tooth, dangling. They believe that the blacks and the browns are their problem. Right. They believe that the illegal immigrants are their problem. taking their jobs they would never do. If you ever see somebody up on a skyscraper hanging with a bungee cord and suction cups and a squeegee, he's an illegal immigrant from Guatemala. Now, the blacks and the browns feel oppressed because they have been oppressed for so long. And they've sat at their kitchen tables listening to the stories, hearing, white kids are not shot by police, black kids are. And what you have underneath is both groups believe that both sides are their problem. The MAGAs with the one tooth swinging, that the illegal immigrants are taking their jobs. They won't do the jobs the Mexicans do. If you want to get rid of all the illegal immigrants, be ready to pay $10 per strawberry. The blacks and the browns are saying no. And so here's what we got. It's a race war, and it's culminating with MAGA Trump.
Pastor, when I heard that last night, it just kind of made me think as we go through the subject, especially the subject matter that we're getting ready to talk about. They don't think about us as people. They look at us as I don't know. What I got from it was, here's a man with billions and trillions, and he treats us like chess pieces on a board.
Yeah.
They don't see you as a normal person. They see you as a chess piece on a board to achieve whatever goal that they want to. And that particular guy was that was Chris Cuomo on the Chris Cuomo show. Yeah. And the other guy was Morgan. Morgan, one of the largest lawyers in the country. And he's donated to Democrats and Republicans. And I always used to say, I just want to see how they conversate about elections. And that kind of gave me an insight. And it's not a good picture.
But let me tell you what I saw. I don't know if you could have freeze frame it. Can you go back and freeze frame it with no sound and stop on that diagram?
I know which one you're talking about. I found that one on the internet, and I'm gonna put it back up just a minute.
Put it back up. Let's talk. We're gonna talk tonight.
Okay, we can talk about that, but I want to tell you.
I know you want to talk about elections. I want to show you the basis of what's going on. Trump is doing the loud part out loud. He's saying the loud part out loud. That right there. Can you make it bigger? You can't.
Okay, it's up.
Okay, I don't know if we can make it any bigger. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, I can.
Let me see if I can.
My screen.
I can make it. I can take.
I know I got it bigger. I did with my finger. I made it bigger. I got it.
Okay.
All right. Overt white supremacy. Socially unaccepted. And then you see where Make America Great Again. Lynching, hate crimes, N-word, racial slurs, swastikas, burning crosses, racial jokes, neo-Nazis, KKK. It's just a tip. It's just the tip of the iceberg at the top. But right up under there, is where Trump and them at. And everybody now, because Trump has empowered them. Make America Great Again. School to prison pipeline. Confederate flags. Not believing in experiences of people of color. Virtuous victim narrative. They act like that they're the victims because of DEI. Denial of white privilege, denial of racism, act like racism. I was saying at the round table, as you want to call it. Racism only can occur for somebody who is in power. If the majority is in power, or they have the most money, or they control what's going on, that's when racism occurs. And I'm going to read the other side, and then we go back. Look at that. Police murdering people of color, racial profiling, anti-immigration policies, housing discrimination, believing that we're already post-racial. We all just one human family. Claiming reverse racism. Bootstrap theory. I pull myself by bootstrap. No, they 4 or 5 generations of deep in money. See? So this is why, assuming the good intentions are enough, self-appointed white ally. They want to celebrate Columbus Day instead of, come on, all that kind of stuff. So this is what's underlining of why they got to stay in control. So they're going to do everything they can. If they got to cheat in the ballot box, if they got to redistrict the districts, if they got to cut corners, whatever they have to do, they want to stay in power. I digress.
I saw Byron, but I agree with you, Pastor. I think that I saw this on the internet, and I said, man, you just don't know how much this fits right into the narrative that we have right now. And you're right. This was one that I seen. The other thing that got me was how he described those. I wish I could. I hope it shows right here. I want you to see how he described those
the people with that one tooth, dangling.
Yeah.
They believe that the blacks and the browns are their problem.
Right. Now we're the problem.
That's who Trump called the uneducated. He's talking about the low class, poor Anglo Americans, the one tooth dangling. They can't get their teeth fixed. We're talking about. Trump is using them to make up MAGA and saying that the African Americans and Hispanics are the problem and making them come to follow him. And Trump don't care about
my thing is this is the way he described them. He did them like this. He put his finger up there. He said them dangling teeth maggots.
Right.
One teeth maggots. And that's the way he described them. And I was saying, if that's the way y'all talking now and y'all know y'all on the air, what are y'all saying about us when you want to address who we are?
They believe that the illegal immigrants are their problem, taking their jobs they would never do. If you ever see somebody up on a sky.
So what makes you think because you see a high rise and you see somebody up there on the high rise that's somebody? He even named where they from.
Skyscraper hanging with the bungee cord and suction cups and a squeegee. He's an illegal immigrant from Guatemala.
Now, see, I guess Guatemalans are the only one that can clean high-rise windows. Now, he may have a point there because I'm not doing it. I think I'll stay on this ground. It's some paper to be picked up somewhere. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah,
but I don't want to dangle off no building without no parachute.
Yeah,
but
now.
I'm gonna play this.
The blacks and the browns feel oppressed.
Pastor Riggins fell in love with this one, so that was
because they have been oppressed for so long, and they've sat at their kitchen tables listening to the stories, hearing. White kids are not shot by police; black kids are, and what you have underneath is both groups believe that both sides are their problem. The MAGAs with.
Hey, Pastor, I kept on hearing MAGA, but you know what? I'm going to have to be honest today. I heard MAGAs, but I didn't know what MAGA was the acronym for.
You didn't know that?
No. I hate to be that. I just like telling people the truth. I didn't know what MAGA was the acronym for till I seen this today. So y'all, I'm guilty.
Man. Make America great again.
Yeah, man. I didn't know it. I did not know.
All the time you was hearing about Make America Great Again and hearing about MAGA, you think it was two different things?
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm not afraid to admit it.
That the illegal immigrants are taking their jobs. They won't do the jobs the Mexicans do. If you want to get rid of all the illegal immigrants.
And the reason why I brought that in, Pastor, was because immigrants pay into the system and they don't get no return on their money.
Right.
They don't get any return on their money. If they paying in Social Security and they paying $100 billion in taxes, and you hear people out there talking about they're not paying into the system, they're paying.
Yeah, I know.
They're paying into the system.
Be ready to pay $10 per strawberry.
You're right. Because if you don't have cheap labor to work the fruit fields, and you got to go out there and pay people minimum wage to work the fruit fields or more, it's going to send all the prices up.
And the other thing, Pastor, is they migrate.
The blacks and the browns are saying no. And so here's what we got. It's a race war. And
this is something that you and Byron always say.
Yeah.
It's
in other words, that guy, that big time lawyer, who's very probably very rich, wearing a white T-shirt to try to make himself look like an everyday man.
In the smallest room in his house.
Turnout is saying the same thing that we say because it's the truth.
Yeah, yeah. And
culminating with MAGA, Trump, the people with that one.
okay, we're done with that. I kind of got a guideline. I'm gonna bring y'all back up bring us back up on the stage where we can be seen. I got kind of a guideline. Y'all can go anywhere you want to, if you want to, branch off from this, do whatever.
I tell you what,
this
let Baron
is the point
talk.
where we at.
Let Baron talk.
Baron said he can't talk, so he don't want to talk. He can't talk right now. You remember he has strep throat, but he's there. He's there in spirit. He's supporting us. And he won this soup, Pastor. But anyway, if you think about this, this is a Lawrence Fishburne in the Matrix movie, and he has a red and a blue pill in his hand. And this voters, you're gonna either vote red for Republican or blue for a Democrat. And we're not saying that either one of them is any better, but we're here to discuss the vote.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Voter turnout.
If Elon Musk makes the third party, will it hurt us?
Yeah, I think it hurt the Democrats more than the Republicans.
What about the independents?
Yeah, I think it hurt us.
What if he picks up the independents? I'm just asking. I
don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if his independent party would support what we got or where we going. That's what do they call it? Outlander. Because I don't know who he would hurt and who he would harm. And maybe if Glass could talk, he probably could have helped us on that. But Glass is having this problem, so I don't know. That's just Outlander. I don't know, Pastor. What about? How do you feel about it?
I'm nervous. He's mad at Trump, and he's thinking that he can use his political influence to try to shake Trump up. But he's going to hurt. I think he's going to hurt the Democrats. Because see, MAGA true all the way through, no matter what. If people are looking for something new to go to, they'll run Elon Musk and be tricked. And personally, I believe Elon Musk had something to do with the election in the system. Personally, I believe. So I don't know. But go back to Elon Musk and go back to the whole system that's been broken for a long time. Money is the central force driving modern man politics. That's why when Kamala Harris raised $1 billion and still lost, something happened. Something happened. We'll find out sooner or later. Probably sooner than later, but we can't undo it.
We can't undo it, Pastor. And I thought about what you said. We can't just let go of what happened. We have to learn from what happened. I think that's our biggest problems, that we don't want to learn from it. We want to go past it and say, oh no, we can't talk about that now. We got to move on to something else. But money is the central driving force behind any politics that's out there. If you see somebody out running for office and they don't have no money, they ain't gonna be there that long. Am I right, Pastor?
That's right. That's right. And the thing about it is how they're getting the money, who's giving them the money. So people will say, I'm representing my district, but really they're representing whoever put money behind them to win. Especially in Congress, while you're in Congress, you always running because it's always every 2 years, House of Representatives. So you actually represent whoever put money behind you. Only time when you ever represent your district is whenever you want to vote and they can't bend your arm and they say, we're going to give you some pork. Pork meaning we're going to throw something, we're going to build a bridge in your district, or we're going to make sure this hospital stay open, or we're going to make sure that you do something that make you look good in your district. Then you'll vote and bring that back to your district. But really, you weren't really representing your district anyway. You're representing whoever put the money to put you in office, to be honest.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, man.
Can you put up the call-in number? I got some people asking what is the number. So can you post the
call-in? Okay, we're going to try that again tonight. I'm putting it up.
All right.
We're going to try it again, y'all. Okay. When it says legal money dominates, here's what I got from listening to their conversation, because they had a long conversation. Here's what I got from it. They say
Excuse
that
me,
most.
Excuse me, Ryan. The number didn't stay up.
Oh, let me take this down.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Most politicians, when they go into office, and especially when we're going to just speak from the point of going to Washington. When they go into office in Washington, what they were saying is that those politicians, in order to stay there, they work in the telephones just as hard to get money as they are in the cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
They have people within their staff that's calling for donations from day one when they're in office. Because if they don't get the money, they don't get reelected. And they have to be part of that money cycle. And if they're not, you won't see them again.
Yeah.
I didn't know that money, that it was that important that they basically give up where they at. That's the reason why. You remember we always ask that question: How come when people leave Houston and go to Washington, or leave Louisiana and go to Washington, how come they still don't represent the people that vote them in? Yeah. Well, that's the reason why. Because they more focused on money to stay there than they are anything else.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say a while ago. Let me tell you something else. People say, these people scared of Trump. They're not scared of Trump. Trump has found a way, legally or illegally, or people of 1 degree away from Trump, to give a lot of people some money. They know if they vote against Trump, he's going to cut the pipeline off. Whether it's money into the campaign or whether it's money in their back pockets illegally.
Motion detected in the front yard.
Somebody call.
Yeah. We got a caller on the line. Let me see if I give me just a minute. I'm gonna bring you up in just a minute. Just stay there, caller. Don't go nowhere.
Let's see if it works tonight, Ron.
Well, the caller just hung up, but
oh man.
But I'm gonna get
call back, caller.
Pastor, go ahead and talk, and I'm gonna get this thing up, and we're gonna work from there.
Right. So what happens is, no one's afraid of Trump, like he's gonna bully them or talk bad about them socially and all that crazy. They know he's an idiot. They call him an idiot. Like right now, even Republicans are fussing about they want to see the Epstein files. They want to make it come out. Now, Trump says, I want whatever's credible, because what he's gonna do is he's trying to use that word if I say my name is in there. It's not credible, so don't post that. He knows what he's saying now. We're gonna bring out the list, whatever's credible. And so he's gonna say to Bundy, you can't put my name out there because my name not credible. So you're gonna see blacking out stuff that they say is not credible. People not scared of Trump. They're scared of losing the money or the connections to the money that Trump is giving them.
But that goes back to the conversation that you had earlier, Pastor. If you think about it, you say, how does Elon Musk influence the elections?
Yes, sir.
Well,
right.
Think about it. Elon could back everybody that's against Trump.
Yep.
He could do that, back everybody that's against Trump.
Yep.
And that in itself is a big fear that Trump should fear. Because if Elon gets his way and he backs everybody that's against Trump, that's a road for impeachment. Because Trump,
because even though, in other words, Elon Musk may put enough people in there that they might have an R behind their name or D, R or D behind their name, but they're representing being against Trump.
Hey, caller, just a minute, Pastor. Hey, caller, how you doing? Can you hear me?
We can't hear the caller.
Hey, caller, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
Call from
Sean.
Yeah, I did you hear it was a call from Sean? I guess I had to do something to bring him into there. Hey, caller, if you're out there, call back in. I'm gonna let you get on. I apologize. We got it up and running. I had the mic off. Call back in, and we're gonna get like satellite radio. We're gonna have these callers working. So. Yeah. Sean, if you're out there, I apologize. If you want to call back in again and try, it's something that I got to push to get you into the show. So just try it one more time. If you're out there, anybody else that wants to call in and try, call in. I'm going to push the button and try to get you up. we'll stop or whatever conversation we got and get you on. Go ahead, Pastor.
Yeah, so whether the person has R, D, or I, independent, Republican, or Democrat, if they're represented by Elon Musk against Trump, then you're right. We may have enough of people that's going to vote against everything that Trump's behind and help to flip. So then they're patriots. I think he wants to call it patriot.
Call from
Sean.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Sean, are you out there?
Hey, I finally got through. Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah, I told.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Come on in.
Awesome. I know you guys moved on from the question, the comment you guys made before, but I had a comment on something you guys said probably 10 minutes ago. And it was more of along the lines of, do you think that if if Elon starts a third party or another party, who would it hurt? Democrats, Republicans, Independents. So, and my thought is, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't see how it could hurt Democrats, because I don't think Democrats associate with Elon anymore, or maybe they don't at all, based on how he supported the current president in the past and the recent past. So, if anything, in my opinion, it might hurt another party, maybe the Independents, some that are not in the Democratic camp, but maybe you can explain to me why you believe that it would hurt the Democrats, because personally, I can't see how anyone would ever support Elon if they were in the Democrat camp before.
Hey, Sean, I thank you for that comment. This is A.F. Riggins. While you were trying to call in, I was just migrating to your point. That I do believe that I think he's gonna call his party a Patriots Party or something similar to that. That when they get in, they'll be on the same side as the Democrats and anybody that's against Trump. So you may be correct that they may win the elections that a Democrat might not win, but when they get ready to vote, they're gonna vote on the same side of Democrats. And as Ron said, might end up with impeachment.
I get you.
See, right? Because we even, in other words, it's like let me just put it in, like if Great Britain and the United States have the same enemy. So if we have the same enemy, we're gonna work together, even though we're not in the same country. So there may be two different parties: Elon's party, Democratic Party, but we got a common enemy. And that common enemy is Trump. So that may work out.
Sean, my thing is, go ahead, Sean.
Well, thank you so much. Do you believe that? I understand what you're saying. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Something along the lines. So, but do you believe, honestly, given the Elon that we became familiar with in the past, he has any credibility to pull anybody, to persuade anyone based on what he's done in the past? I don't believe he does.
Okay.
Personally, I don't think he has the credibility to pull that off, in my opinion. He would never have my trust.
Pastor, let me address this real quick.
Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
One of the things that I want you to listen, one of the things that I want you to understand, Sean, is as I listened to that video that we were going through earlier, one of the things that they said was legal money is the most dangerous money that's out there in politics. The guy said back in the day when he was with Clinton, he was probably pursuing like about $800,000. But since Elon Musk and Bill Gates and everybody else has came into the election, he said that's like pennies in a bucket. He said now these guys are putting in real money, and that's the way Elon Musk can dominate the election. Even something that Pastor said earlier, and I'm gonna give it back to him, when he said that, he don't believe that Kamala lost the election. He believes that it was bought. I don't want to put words in your mouth, Pastor. But I think that's along the lines of what you were saying.
Right. You know what? He bought the districts where they
machines.
Right. Where they turn around and put people off the rolls, wipe people off the rolls, did all kind of different stuff that was underhanded, but money was behind it. But to answer, Sean doesn't want to trust Elon. A lot of people not going to trust Elon. But this is what I think how Elon's going to be effective, Sean. Say you can't get any candidate to win, but now it's on the night. It's getting close to now. It's past the primaries, and every Republican that he thinks is that Trump is going to represent Trump, he goes to a Democrat or independent that's running, and he dumps money into their campaign for them to win. You don't have to trust him for that. You don't have to trust him because now it's not somebody he put up. He's deciding that I couldn't put nobody up, but I'm going to dump my money on people that's running up against Trump. That's why I think that it's going to be effective.
Understood.
And as you was
All right,
talking,
gents, thank you.
Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry. Come on, Sean. I'm sorry.
No. Finish your thought. I was going to just thank you for taking my call, and I don't want to monopolize your time.
Oh no, you ain't monopolizing, Sean. You're participating. That's what we do. That's the best part of this. I wish I could put up the other banner, but it'll cover up some of us on the show. We want to hear from everybody that's out there. Sean, before I want to make this comment. Elon Musk can do something that we used to have a name for it called propaganda because he owns X. Elon Musk can throw money into social media like it ain't nothing. But what they call it now, and I heard it and I didn't understand it. They call it seeding the story. It don't have to be true.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, it could be totally irrelevant. Right. But they can destroy your reputation by putting stuff out there, planting stuff on different medias that's out there. And if I own the platform and I got enough money, I can put people, that's their sole job, is to destroy you. Yeah,
I totally agree with you. And that's it. I mean, people should know this. I'm sure the people who are listening already know this. Whoever owns a microphone controls the narrative, right? So if I own the outlets, if I own all of these social media platforms, or some of them, I'm the filter that determines what message gets filtered and what message goes out. So even if it's a lie, to your point, even if it's a lie, when you see something, if you have the microphone to repeat that message over and over and over again, if you hear a lie 1,000 times, eventually you're going to find some type of truth or something you might believe in that lie. And that's exactly what happens.
Oh, we got proof of it. We got proof of it.
I agree with what you're saying. Yep.
We got proof of it.
Agree with
Look at what Donald Trump did to the Democrats. You remember when the Democrats used to have the ability to go on the air and put out their story and their narrative and people following them and everything like that? Well, Donald Trump, when he came into the picture, he basically dominated the media, whether it was good, bad, or whatever. And if you went to even the regular Democratic media, they're still talking about Donald Trump. So he don't really have to get out there and advertise. He dominates the airways. But he has a buddy that has a little bit more money than he does. And I'll tell you, yeah, Elon is the most dangerous man, is one of the most dangerous men out there now.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, Ronald Reagan set the whole stage. In doing that debate, he said, Mr. Moderator, I paid for this microphone. Remember that?
Who was that, Pastor?
Ronald Reagan.
Oh! I wouldn't put it past
during the debate, and somebody was trying to get him he had went over his time, whatever, blah blah blah, and he said, "Mr. Moderator, I paid for this microphone," and that was the beginning of setting the balance for whoever owns the mic, like Sean says, whoever owns the right, they're the one that got control. And that's how Ronald Reagan. He was just a great communicator. And he was able to use that one thing right there. He won that one statement, won that whole debate. Nobody don't think about any of the issues they was fighting about, nothing like that. He just, he's real smart mouth. Mr. Moderator, I paid for this microphone. He won the whole debate right there.
I didn't hear that statement, but Pastor, I'm glad you brought it up because that's a good one to remember. And think about the times. At the time when that was going on, it wasn't a lot of computers out there. It wasn't a lot of social media out there.
Right.
He basically, he said exactly what everybody else is saying in today's media. So, hey, Pastor, I want to go through this real quick so we can get to the next one.
Yes, sir.
But legal money
is... Thanks, I'm going to drop.
Huh?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Okay, Sean, call back in anytime.
Drop.
Thank you, Sean. We really appreciate the call.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Pastor, as we get into this, and I'm glad to tell y'all just don't know how glad I am that the telephone was working. I seen Glass smile. I seen Glass out there smile. Woo! It's been a while. But we're back at it, Pastor. We're going to get calls.
I'm going to send something to you.
Hey.
I'm going to send it to you in a message.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know if I can get it in the messenger. You do better send it to me in the email.
Email?
Yeah. Hey, as we go into this, I want to say the influence of billionaires, super PACs has diminished the traditional role of bundlers. I didn't even know what a bundler. Glass, just shake your head. Do you know what a bundler is? Just yes or no. I don't need you to talk. Okay. You can't hear me? Okay. I was asking you, do you know what a bundler is? I just need a yes or no. Okay. Bundlers, grassroots fundraisers, concentrated politician power in fewer hands. When this guy was in there, and like I say, he works for one of the largest, what do they call those? Ambulance chasers? I'm gonna call him an ambulance chaser. One of the largest ambulance chasers firms in America. It's called Morgan & Morgan. He donates a lot of money. So when he was sitting down there, he said he was a bundler. That was those $800,000 guys that used to bring in money for like Hillary and all the rest of them. And he talks to these people one-on-one. But he admits that his money is no good now, Pastor. It's not enough.
Wow, because it ain't enough of money.
Yeah. So he don't even get. He said, I talked to these people. He said he talked to Obama. He can message Clinton. He can talk to Hillary. But he say, my money ain't enough. They don't respect me like they used to.
Yeah,
the next thing is legal campaign contributions rather than illegal money. Rather than illegal money like it used to be, represents the greatest threat to democracy and to democratic integrity due to the scale of their scale and the amount of money that they can donate. What we just got through saying that little, what we call money was just a little bit. Now they're able to donate billions and millions and change the whole outlook of the campaign.
Let me ask you a question though. So now
ahead,
back to our topic for tonight. What's the topic for tonight? What's the title of the topic for tonight?
The voter turnout, voter education, and awareness.
Okay. So now, I'm average Joe Blow, or average Pookie Ray. I hear everybody talking about money is what's moving everything. You know, I'm gonna say what they say. If money's moving everything, why does my vote count? Why do I go out there and vote?
The same reason why Vance had to stand up and carry that bill. You never know. It might be just your vote to carry that bill over. And that's the reason why you go out and vote.
The same reason why they denied to vote the 18th district in Houston to be the one vote to stop the bill from the beginning.
Yeah, and you have to continue to vote. You may not like the candidates, you might not like what they stand for, but you need to go behind that booth and vote. You need to stand up there and vote because your representation gives you a voice. You don't have a voice if you don't vote. The other thing that they talk about, and since the voter turnout, this is something else that they talk about, Pastor. Being authentic and personal and making a connection, a personal connection to understand. Because the way that they was describing it, and I'll try to make this brief, was that me and Pastor can talk to you. We can explain something to you. A person that's educated gonna take a path that maybe they're gonna lose you with 2 or 3 words and gonna try to talk above your head. It's almost like being in New York, trying to talk to somebody down south and trying to communicate a word and carry it across all the way through the West. And I say this all the time. Being authentic is something that's real. And I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna give you 2 examples of authentic people, and this is the ones that they say was Obama and Clinton. Mm-hmm. The way that they talk to people, the way that they communicated, the way that they could tell a story and bring you along that path. You want somebody that you feel like can identify with you. And that's part of getting people to turn out during the vote. And that's part of picking a person that can deliver that message that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I sent you the 49-second video in an email.
Okay, I'm trying to get to it.
I don't know. After seeing the video, now I don't remember if it was a debate or a press conference. But the point was that he owned the microphone. So, so I may have been wrong of whether it was a debate or not. But you can look at that video. It's 49 seconds when somebody's trying to get.
Okay, I'm gonna go out there and look for it. I wish we had Glass where he could comment. But Pastor, you're gonna have to take it if you want me to put that video.
Yeah, I got it. Look, authenticity, to be authentic. George W. Bush, even though we didn't believe in his policies, even though he seemed sometimes aloof or didn't know what he was talking about, he was folksy, down to earth. And so he was able to feel, he was authentic to the people that believed in him. Even after he finished being the president and Obama finished being the president, the reason why they're friends now is because they both looked at each other as authentic persons. I was reading at the Audible when the book about hope that Obama wrote about, the original book he wrote about his whole life. And he talked about how he went into the Senate and be a senator, a young man. This was why he was running for president. He had wrote this book. And in 2006, he won the Senate. And he said how he met George W. Bush and how George W. Bush was, even though their politics didn't jive, they didn't agree with each other on policies, but he felt like he was a genuine, authentic person. And that's what really matters. And see, the whole thing about Trump is his core base of him is a lie. I'm not talking about him because I don't agree with him as being, I'm talking about before he ever was a president. This whole stuff about the Epstein file, the whole things about Central Park 5, all the thousands and thousands of lawsuits we didn't pay people for doing their work, all of the women who have accused him of sexual assaults, his basic core is not authentic. It's all about him, his power, his money. How can you have 6 bankruptcies of $40 million? Because you're not authentic. And so this is why if we can get enough of people to believe in who the person who's running, so you gotta know how to package what you believe in so that folk will believe in you to vote for you. Let me say it again. You gotta be able to package what you believe in. Present yourself believable to be authentic. Then folk will vote for you based on that. And then you're gonna do what you believe in. That's how I look at it.
You're right, Pastor, and that's one of the things that we have to understand is that every time that we do something, I'm copying this in the background, but every time that we do something, we have to look at our leaders and make sure that they can relate to you, because sometimes they can talk over your head. And when they talk over your head, it's not going to instill people. +1-832-856-5964. They got another caller, so maybe we can bring them in. Hello?
Hey, it's Sean again. Got a question.
Pastor, Pastor, you're going to have to talk.
Yeah, I'll answer. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. Okay. I'm only responding to what I just heard you say. And it was more of a line like people you can believe in, and there are people that can relate to other people, connect to other people. But my question is, and my comment is, I believe that that's what happened this time. I don't think this was a situation where people couldn't relate to the person that they running against Trump or running for Trump, whoever. I think this was something else. People voted for Trump based on a promise of make America great. And we know what that means for African Americans. You know what it means for brown people of brown skin.
Mm-hmm.
That people voted for him based on that promise, not because he was a good person, because if anyone just watched the news, just talk to someone, they know that he was a piece of crap. He was not a person of any that I can say. He lies. He cheats. He's racist. He's a horrible businessman. Big microphone. He talks a lot. He's a bully.
Yes.
But he was making America great, and he was supporting Proud Boys. And he did not denounce them. So my comment is, do you really believe that people voted for him because they can relate to him? Or they voted for him because of a promise of the Make America Great? And we know what that code means.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
right.
believe Trump, but I agree with everything you're saying. That's why I say I don't believe Trump won. The election was stolen.
Oh, I agree. And I'm making a comment off that because, we learn in school. Like statistics, right? You have data. You think data is accurate, right? You would think that data is data is data. No. Statistic-wise, that can even be. If I want to have a certain outcome, I will get a certain group of data from a certain group of people and support that and let that be the support for the outcome I want to have. Mm-hmm. We learned it in school. So you can't even say that that's true. So my point is, you can manipulate data, you can manipulate code, and it will look like the truth. You can get the outcome you want, absolutely can, by controlling the data. So I agree with you, Pastor. That's exactly what can happen. And he probably didn't win either because his friend, and I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, not. But if someone has enough money, they can probably manipulate the data, or they can probably manipulate code and then get the outcome they want. I don't have any proof of that, but it's possible.
Yes, sir. I mean, you're building rockets,
something else.
rockets and robots.
I heard you say it, and I'm still working on this video for Pastor Riggins, but this is something that most people don't understand. When they take polls or they build graphs and they illustrate a point, they can take out whatever they want to take out and make that poll or that graph say whatever it wants to say. I worked in GIS, and we used to do make graphs and stuff in GIS to try to show the data within the county. But what I noticed is that you can make a graph and it could have the exact information in there, but if it didn't say what your upper bosses wanted it to say, they would manipulate the data to show something different. And that's the same thing with elections, and that's almost the same thing that you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, yes, sir.
That was it. And it sounds like we're all on the same page. I thought you may have thought something different, Pastor. So I had to throw in my comment just to say I didn't believe that. I thought it could have been more than just finding someone that you believe in. This was not about that. Somebody was voting for a promise of the past.
Right. And that's why I was saying he was a liar.
They used the excuse of Make America Great Again.
Right.
That was the excuse to justify their hatred or their vote.
Yes.
That was the excuse that was given to them.
Absolutely, Sean. Right. And here's the thing that we need to understand in America is that we would rather hear a good lie than the absolute truth. A good lie. So I'm gonna tell you a lie that I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give an example. I'm not gonna tax Social Security. He didn't have the power to say that he didn't have the power to tell you that he wasn't going to tax Social Security. It had to go through Congress and it had to go through the Senate. And by the time it came back, it was a whole different story. It ain't that I ain't going to tax Social Security. I didn't have the power to do it. You ain't heard him come out and say that, have you?
Let me tell you something else.
No.
Everything he's doing in the big, beautiful bill is Project 2025. He lied and said he wasn't going to do Project 2025. But the sad thing about it, he's so clumsy in the way he's doing it. All the executive orders he's talking, dismantling the education department that came out today that the Supreme Court gonna let him do it and all that kind of stuff. That's all in Project 2025. So he was lying from the beginning.
Yeah.
But if you said lie long enough and said loud enough and said so many times, folk believe it.
I'm gonna tell you, Pastor, I wasn't able to get it up as fast as I thought I was gonna be able to, but we're gonna move along. And Sean, if you want to stick around on the telephone, you can, because we're gonna start moving, and maybe something you want to add to it. But here's the thing that I want to say real quick, Pastor. The two-party system is criticized as toxic and dysfunctional, with parties advocating for reforms such as open primaries and ranked choices voting to reduce the polarization and increase the moderate moderate representation. Both of them are guilty of the same thing. So you're gonna have to get somewhere and be an independent in there, or else you're just lost. You're gonna have to make your own decisions. I'm gonna try to move a little bit faster. You want to comment on that, Pastor? Or did I
I'll
read
let you
it
keep
wrong?
going. I'll let you keep going. I'll come in later. Yeah.
Economic pain among working class Americans. They're going to have to address that in the next election cycle. That's something that's going to have to be addressed. The parties must include the working poor who are distressed. This is a real issue for politicians must address to win the 2026 elections rather than abstract narratives about the economy. People are going to be hurting by this time. Pastor, you want to comment on that?
So here's what this is. Like I said, they're saying that they hope that they're going to try to hold off the impact of that bill to after the elections, but folk already feel it coming.
Yeah.
Even inflation's already rising because of tariffs.
Yeah.
So if enough pressure come on, it's gonna impact the elections.
Absolutely. Both parties predict a continuous come on, Pastor, help me say this word. Midterm elections in 2026. If the Dems don't
contentious. Which means it's gonna be a lot of big fighting going on.
Midterm election in 2026. If the Dems don't change their strategy, the Trump elected House and Senate are likely to win again, driven by voters that's focused on lies and not telling the truth. Because he's not telling the truth. The only way he's winning those seats is that he's lying and he's deceiving the people that's listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving along. Glass, if you want to come in, just wave your hand. Voters must prepare now. We need to be preparing now. That's what Glass is always saying. We need to have somebody that's out front, somebody that speaks, that can relate to people. Clinton and Obama they already ran. It ain't nothing that they can do. They can become the vice president, but I don't see neither one of them becoming the vice president. How about you, Pastor?
Nah, man, that's not gonna work like that.
And it goes back to that one thing. If voters need to understand, money dominates political operation, and constant need for fundraising exhausts politicians. That's where it goes back to, Pastor. Mm-hmm. They always need money, and they're always making calls. They're either in the House or they're making calls to try to get money. They're calling this person, they're calling that person, and they're trying to get money behind them so they can run for the next election. We need to understand how that happens, because I have asked that question. What happens to them? Well, if you know that you're not going to get elected, if you don't have no money, you got to stay on top of your money, and you got to attend different events to get there.
See that second paragraph?
The influence of billionaires and super PACs.
Diminish the traditional role of bundlers and grassroots fundraising.
Yeah.
But they always asking for $5. And Kamala Harris, through all that, got $1 billion. And that should have won that election. And I believe it did win the election, but that's not a whole show. We'll keep coming back to it. But the money from the super PACs put on the other side, the Heritage Foundation, Elon Musk and everything gave Trump just enough of money to they could be able to move things around, and Elon can use his influence or whatever, or his technical or his expertise of whatever he can do in the machines. I mean, you've been in rocket ships and Tesla cars and stuff. Hey, I don't know what you did, but it's something he did, and now he regrets what he did.
The thing about it, if he could throw money, if he could spend that kind of money and buy that kind of media, he ain't no different than Ronald Reagan. He's saying the same thing that Ronald Reagan is saying.
Yeah, but
my microphone, if I can buy it, it's mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're gonna get on to the Democratic Party. Far left and mega supporters are both equally repulsive, and go to the extremes of whatever they're doing. It's both parties. That's the reason why me, Glass, and Pastor all say that we're independents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we said this earlier. Emphasis on the importance of a authenticated
authenticity.
Thank you, Pastor. My tongue tied. My tongue. I got a tongue that's tied too. I know the word. Connection in politics, highlighting figures like Obama and Clinton, who possess a charisma, and a genuine approach to voters. We're gonna have to find somebody that can appeal to many voters. That's the only way that we're gonna get back to where we were.
Josh Shapiro, the guy from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Let me say it for Glass. I'm gonna say it for Glass. Come on, I'm gonna say it for Glass. What's this woman? AOC.
Yeah.
You need somebody that can appeal to people. I said it, Glass. I saw that smile come in your face, and I just kind of read into what you was trying to say.
Let's see.
Riggin.
Yeah.
Hey, Jess, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Hey, so, quick question. So, I agree. I've been raised a Democrat my entire life. My family has been. And as I've gotten older, I've remained Democrat for the same reason most of us have, of the illusion that we've had. And I feel, to comment on what you said, when you see all these ads about people asking for money, like I still get them from the Democratic Party. And I, honestly, now I don't do anything at all because I feel let down by them, because I feel like there was we did everything right, send the money to them. And like what you're saying now, I don't see any activity on the Democratic side. And it's very frustrating. I don't feel the leadership. I don't see the leadership. I don't hear anyone talking. That's my feeling anyway. But my question or my comment is, independents are probably now, I wouldn't, it's difficult for me to say I'm a Democrat. It truly is, based on some of the policies of the past election. I just totally disagree with. However, do we believe that the independent can knock Trump out of office? And should we be pushing that narrative, or should we be trying to fortify the Democratic Party, a party that can possibly win with the right leadership, probably, and the right energy and all that jazz? Do you believe that the independent party is big enough, strong enough to make that move? Even though I agree with you, I'm disappointed in the Democratic Party. But can we truly win? Right, with that party?
Ron, just briefly, all you got to do is look in New York City with the mayor that's about to become legendary. So eventually, the party will dismantle itself, or people are going to lead the party. So the guy in New York is the same as Trump was. They're afraid of him. They're trying to tell you everything about him that's bad. But if you sit down and listen to some of the people that's actually supporting this guy, I think he's going to have a good chance of winning. And I'm not going to say he's going to be an Obama type guy, but we know that Gavin Newsom is out there. I think he needs to go it on and start to putting up, because they're waiting too late. 2026 run is right around the corner. And again, if we don't win in 2026, it's all over.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing, Glass. Gavin Newsom ran against the guy that's in New York, and now he's considering running as an independent against him in the election for the mayor. That just convolutes everything. You done lost, so why don't you just go ahead and sit down somewhere?
You mean as a governor?
He's not doing.
You talking about New York or in
New York? Not Gavin Newsom. The guy what was the guy that Glass is called?
Cuomo. You talking
about Cuomo lost the primary against the guy.
Yeah, but he's talking about coming back in the election and putting his name as an independent on the ballot.
Yeah. And he's still gonna lose.
He's still gonna lose.
See that's what's wrong with power and old people.
Is crooked.
Yeah. And I saw somewhere the other day where somebody said that's what's wrong with America, that anybody can become president. Look what we got.
And that's what happened. What happened over time? We eroded the moral base of America. We eroded the moral standards. We focus on capitalism versus freedom. See, whenever we go to another country, we try to bring freedom. We're not trying to bring freedom. We're not Iraq for capitalism. All. We're in Israel for capitalism. We're not there for freedom. So now, as Malcolm X would say, the chickens have come home to roost. So you got arguably a rich, lying, stealing felon, and you represent America, because that's what America was. Even though I don't believe he really won, but enough Americans wanted him to win till he got close enough to all you do is shave off some votes to win. Or they wanted him in 2016 instead of a woman, Hillary Clinton, because he represented what they thought was.
Pastor, push pause on that just for a minute. You need to hear this.
Don't get to play by the same rules as men.
I just want to bring that up because you just brought it up, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
They know that women don't get a chance to play. You don't get a chance to play by the same rules as men.
Yeah.
And that was part of Kamala's problem. That was part of Hillary's problem. And you just heard it.
Yeah.
They don't get they don't get the same rules. They get a different set of rules thrown at them.
Now, what Sean said was this. He's disappointed the way I'm disappointed. Biden lied. Biden said, I'm not going to run again. I'm running to save the soul of America and save the democracy. I will not run again. If he would have let a full primary to come out, Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro, the guy from Arizona, even Waltz would have all had a big battle in front of the whole of America, just like all the Republicans. Republicans were running one person, Trump. You're shutting down the young lady. What's the lady name? The other Republican lady. Who?
AOC? Or?
No, the Republican lady was running against Trump.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I know what you're talking about, though.
She was the governor of South Carolina at one point. The Native American, she got Native American in her background.
Come on, Glass. I know you're gonna get it.
You know what I'm talking about. And she used to work for Trump. Then she got fired by Trump, ran against Trump, and turned around and supported Trump. That's all it was, him and her. And if we'd had our full primary,
Nikki Haley,
we could have had somebody representative that was maybe not a woman. I love Kamala Harris, but we know that right now it's hard for women and she only had 90 days. So I'm disappointed in Democratic for that. Second thing I'm disappointed at, like I was saying last week, instead of them grandstanding, Jefferson had no business grandstanding for 8 hours. You take 8 hours to work behind the scenes to get votes on your side. You then vote the bill down, then come out and grandstand. I'm not even never ran for office in my life, but I know that business. See, it's common sense stuff that you have to do. I never ran for office in my life, but I know that if I want to win a vote, I got to go work the back corners, work the back rooms, do whatever I got to do to get the Republicans to get on my side to say, man, y'all know y'all don't really like this bill, but Trump gonna cut my legs off. Put some money into you.
You're absolutely right. But here's something I want to add to what you just got through saying, because we talked about it earlier. If I was a Democrat, when I first saw this big, beautiful bill coming through the process it was going through, I would have remembered the 19th congressional district, that was a vote that they could have used. But see, the Democratic Party is so lost. They'd rather stand up and make them 8-hour speeches, and somebody was criticizing them for going down to South Carolina or North Carolina recently and say that he didn't serve a purpose going there. There's too much going on in the world today that you can serve a purpose. But if somebody would just throw that out there, that we haven't filled that seat, that would have made, what's his name? Our governor. That would at least made Perry think about what he was doing. Abbott. So they could hold him accountable when it comes time to get reelected. But see, the Democratic Party, y'all stop laughing at me. It's so
back to Rick Perry.
yeah, I'm back at Rick Perry. Amnesia, that's what they say when you think you can run they think you think you can run for office again. You have to have a little bit of amnesia because you forget about everything else. You just say, I can do it right now. I'm in the position to do it. But anyway,
run.
Yeah. Y'all will be in the world of hurt because that would be a dangerous moment in history. But I want to get through. I don't think I got but 7 slides, Pastor. But I want us to get to a point where we still educating and we're making the points out there. And when it comes time for votes, I hope that we can continue to do this process all the way up until the midterm elections, because that was one of the key issues. And I think I expressed this to Glass. We need to have a voice out there. We need to have somebody that can get in the middle make their points, put it out there, let you go back and research it, and make your own decisions. That's what we do here. That's what we do here, Sean. I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight. It's a pleasure having you on the air. And don't hesitate to call back in because you was our number one caller. You've been our number one caller and you got through.
I got number. What do I get for being number one? I get something, right?
Yeah. We're gonna have to come up with something.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get a T-shirt. How about one of them hats that say "Make America Great Again"?
Oh no, man! Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on now, Ron.
All right, you keep that.
All right.
Anyway, thank y'all. So I appreciate. I'm gonna hang up, but thank you guys again for taking my calls. I know I called in twice.
You ain't gonna wait to get your hat, Sean?
In the comments.
Sean?
That ain't my hat, bro. That ain't my hat.
You gonna watch the All-Star baseball game. Leave him alone. Let him go watch the baseball game.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for your call in.
Say AF.
We enjoyed you.
AF.
Yes, sir.
Why should anybody go out and vote? Here's why. Everything that you have needed is being taken away. Cheap, food products, gas, education, anything that you have been attached to over the last 15, 20 years, it's about to become harder and harder. Your minimum wage is not going up, okay? So the money that you're making now, let's say $8 an hour. Well, 40-hour week, that's $320, right, Riggins?
Mm-hmm.
If you, depending on what tax bracket you're in, you may be bringing home $280, $260, somewhere up and down. Okay, $260 times 4, what's that? 24. That's only $1,024. Let's out of that $1,024. Let's say you got a mortgage, you got a car note, you got a kid. That's gone already. So how you gonna be able to survive? Yeah. So you got to look at all these underlying things that that's taking place, and nothing should surprise the American Negro because everything this man is doing has already been done to us that were taught to us by our parents. So we shouldn't be surprised. Again, we got to step. We got to get those sororities, those fraternities, all these other people that's out there. We got to get them to go vote. We got to get people to register to vote. We got to get them to where they have the real license so they can be eligible to vote. Again, Ron, the history is being repeated. It's just in a different format.
Yes, sir. Look here, Baron, you're telling the truth, brother. Absolutely the truth. Do you know there's an article came out today where it say Trump's gonna start denaturalizing people? How will it affect African Americans? He wants to take away our citizenship if he can.
I'm glad.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations deep off the slave boat. 1619. That's why they first start off by saying, do away with Project 1619. Do away with the history. So we can't tell when you got here and how you got here. So now we can take away your citizenship. Go ahead.
Pastor, I'm gonna say something, and I know that I'm gonna hit some nerves. D, we see you. I seen you on your first comment, and we're gonna work on those 2 gent hats or whatever. We're gonna have to get something to start giving people when they call in or they participate in the show. So anyway, I seen you, Pastor. Let me ask you a question. And you're a historian, and I really don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to frame this in the right frame. What if we were already here when Christopher Columbus came across that ocean? What if we were standing here on this continent in America when they came across that ocean?
Let me say something to you.
What? Okay, I'm gonna let you answer that.
There were Black Native American tribes. Some of them were here. The ones that were here came from East Africa across to the Bering Strait. the Blackfeet, Native Americans, and some other ones. You and I, some of our people married some of those, but the West Coast Africans were taken out the West Coast across the Atlantic as slavery. Some of us were here. Some of us were here. They call us natives. I watched a movie yesterday about the Aborigines in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
How the Anglo-Americans from Great Britain, when they're shooting them up and killing them like they do Native Americans over here. So some of us were here. I'm not going to discount that. What percentage? I can't say how much. But West Africans were brought here on the boats for slavery. But if they came from the East Coast, it's because they didn't go to the East Coast to get them. If we come from the East Coast, that means that we came through, just like the other Native Americans came through the Bering Strait and crossed over from whatever they came from, Asia, or wherever they came from, or wherever they were originally. Because, see, the world migrated from Africa. Let me say it again. The whole world migrated from Africa. Let me say it again. The Bible tells you, and history will tell you, the oldest human remains, and the word of God says,
genetics will tell you that.
Because you can take every color out of black and no color out of white. And nobody's white, they're pink. But the darker you get close. Nobody's really black either. But it can be so dark, I'm gonna look black. So Adam from the dirt. Dark dirt. So they came from Africa. They came from Africa, before they became whatever they're called, Native Americans or Asians or whatever, and they crossed over and all that. Everybody came out of Africa anyway. You telling the truth.
Hey, Spikes.
Even Christopher Columbus came out of Africa. They had to go to Europe. Go ahead.
No, Riggins, I just wanted to qualify. Somewhere within the last 5 minutes, if you've been listening, you ought to be able to go back and do this research, what this man is saying. And I'm sitting here just amazed. I was talking to a young lady earlier about history, about why things are taken out of the textbooks, why we was, given information that's been totally false. And we still don't hate nobody. We still try to exhibit love. We still try to minimize. We still try to do everything the right way. Well, at some point, Spikes, you got to either take Malcolm's journey or you got to take Martin's journey. Whatever works for you. My point is this: is that at some point you got to dig, you got to dig deep for yourself. But if you listen to what Riggins said, it's a history lesson in 5 minutes. Go and do the research for yourself. Because again, Ron, the number one goal is to enlighten and inform. And if you have not been enlightened and informed, then two gents and a mic is not the place for you.
I heard
You know me probably better than anybody. You know when I bring something up, I'm coming with some ammunition behind it.
Yeah. I got one more thing to say before you say that, Ron. One more thing I'm gonna say before you say that. I used to always hear preachers, especially Anglo-American preachers, Pentecostal background, be saying, I believe in the word of God, word for word from the King James Version. And I thought they were trying to say that they didn't want to change God's word to try to dilute it for you not to live right. But now I know what they mean. King James Version was authorized by King James. There's a Bible out there called the Ethiopian Bible. I just bought it on Audible. And the Bible, King James Version, make even reference to it. In the book of Jude, they make reference to the book of Enos. And some other things in there. And the Catholic Bible has some of it in it too. But there's 66 books in King James. The Ethiopian Bible has 81 to 88 books. Which means we're missing about anywhere from what? 15 to 20 books or 22 books. Because they want to hide the truth.
But why?
Because the truth is the Bible starts in Africa. The truth is the Ethiopians had the Christianity before Rome had it. The truth is if you hide, if you don't let folks know the whole truth, you're telling a lie. Now the truth is that to get to heaven, to be born again, you believe in Jesus Christ. It's in both books. But everything else around it, about how they want to control people, how the Bible says a slave got to be, Paul telling the man as a slave to be kind to his master and all this stuff, and his whole lie about Noah and Ham and all this stuff, that's all a lie, because if you go to the Ethiopian Bible, you get the real truth. Now, Ron, go ahead, brother.
My thing, and we going somewhere with this. I'm glad that we got it. We changed our subjects real quick, but I'm glad that we got at it at the end of the show, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm getting ready to do a show, and everybody ain't gonna like it. But here's the one thing that I will tell you about the show that I'm gonna do. If they telling you to go home, and you was here before them, who should go home? Who are they telling to go home? Because if you were here and you stood there and let me break this down a little bit further, because you need to understand. See, the Indians was
Native Americans.
Native Americans. Let me politically get it correct. Thank you, Pastor. But the Native Americans were here. But mixed within the Native Americans, they knew how to do corn. They knew how to do different vegetables. Some of the stuff that they taught the Pilgrims to survive the winter, most of the food that they was using, you know where that came from?
Well,
I'm just gonna tell you, the Africans is where the original food that they started using came from.
Mm-hmm.
See, we have to go back and do our history. We have to go back and try to understand a little bit, because they might have hid some stuff that they don't never want us to know. Because if you knew that you were here, that some of us was here first, somebody, when they say go home, it's a lot of them that should be walking, getting on the ships, cruise ships, whatever. Go ahead, Glass.
Spikes, you know me. Riggin, since you got the Bible, I'm not gonna say next week, but we got to that. Let's talk about what's in it, why some of it is left out. Let's start getting people familiar, because remember, in
We can
life,
do that next week, Glass, because my thing is I'm doing it independent.
To it and reading it. I got to start listening to it and reading it. Give me a little time to,
Okay.
give me a little time to start, because I can tell you everything in King James. I've
Right.
been reading this since I was a kid.
And I think most of y'all gonna be afraid of what Pastor Riggins learned.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Huh?
They're gonna be afraid of what you learn.
Yeah. We didn't go buy one
They're
themselves.
gonna be afraid of what you learn.
I got it free on Audible. I had one credit because every month I pay $16
James was a what? A Roman Catholic?
My free credit. I got the Ethiopian Bible this time.
Oh, I Pastor, you should have talked to me. I got about 20 of them sitting there.
No, but I got on Audible.
That's what I'm talking about. I got about 20 of them points sitting there, credits.
Oh, credit? Oh, yeah. I understand.
When I get ready to do this next credit, I already spent up some of my credits to get information. But when I do this next show, and then Pastor come back and tell you about that Ethiopian Bible and why they left out those books, you're gonna find out who should be here and who shouldn't. Yeah. Somebody should be buying cruise ship tickets every time that they tell you that you should go back somewhere. You're gonna find out that maybe they're the ones that landed here, but somebody was already here. They couldn't even survive the winter. So what makes you think that they came here and they did anything other than pull out guns and shoot and try to run people? It's a reason. Let me do Glass. One more last thing. One last thing, Glass. It's the reason why they kept pushing people west. It's the reason why they kept pushing people west. Down in Florida, where the Seminoles, black Seminoles was, they couldn't even go down there. They had to trick the guy that was over the black Seminoles to a meeting, and that's the only reason why they got him out of there. I'm sorry. I'm telling y'all too much information.
Well,
go ahead, Glass.
You tell the truth.
Hey, Mr. Spike. Yeah, you know we're looking at about 8:56 p.m. Central Standard Time. You know it's time for the comical aspect. You think Riggins could use 20 of them points to get my jacket?
Ooh,
I got to first find it.
Hey, Rob.
D, we gonna answer that question, and I'm just gonna say it like this. D, The Roman Catholics wrote that King James version of the Bible, and there's some stuff that that always about that Bible. They always had people in control of other people. And let me tell you, and I'm gonna leave it right there. So anyway, Glass, I don't know about he got enough credits to go get some audio books, but I don't know about Sue. D, I enjoy you.
Hey, now all jokes aside, man, I've been sitting back listening. I got a real bad headache, but again, enlightening and informing. If you listen to what Ron and Riggins said tonight, hopefully it gave you some insight. And all you got to do is go do your research. We're not trying to indoctrinate anybody. We're not trying to control anybody. We're just giving you another option that you can go and consider after you've done the research. And I think the research will draw you to the same conclusion we came to. Why have we been lied to about so much that has taken place in this country, in this world, with the significant impact that the American Negro has made and will continue to make? Again, if you look across the country, they're naming military bases, taking away all of the benefits and the benefactors that have contributed, to this place we call the United States of America. So, Ron, y'all did a wonderful job. Riggins, man, as always, you be on point. Love to sit back and listen to you when you're in your element. And I think people can really learn if they take two gents in the mic serious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We love doing it.
I agree with you, Glass. And here's something for food for thought. And I'm giving it to Pastor Riggins, and never forget this. I'm gonna draw this picture out for you. It's two white generals sitting in a chair back during Civil War time. One of them was from the north, one of them was from the south. This gentleman was standing up above them, had just as much regalia as they had on. He had his hand on both shoulders. One Confederate general, one general from the north. And I'm gonna leave it like that. I want to leave it there, Pastor, because I'm when I do my show, it's gonna be controversial, but they done covered up a lot of history that was out there, and that's all I'm gonna say. Pastor Glass, I love you both. We're gonna somehow get you a suit. We're gonna somehow get you a suit, Glass.
No, he won't. It's a certain kind of suit he won't.
I know, but
it's a blazer. It's not a suit. It's a blazer.
You think I could send him one of those Make America Great hats again, and help him out?
No, he want one of them blazers, and the blazer is anybody out there that can help us out.
Oh, I was trying to give him a Make America Great hat
with pink window pane.
Okay, hey, Pastor, it's all on you now.
Yes, sir.
Glass, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save your headache, and I'm gonna save your voice. Pastor, it's on you.
Yes, sir. Guys, we always enjoy to be able to engage, to inform, and to impact our community, our city, and our world through this show, Two Gents and the Mic. Tonight, we were trying to focus on the Black voter turnout and how they can be solidified. But we talked about a lot of subjects behind why the Black voters have been suppressed, maybe why they will not being inspired or being motivated. Hopefully, through our discussion tonight, we can impact at least one person to tell somebody else, to multiply to tell someone else why it's very important. The 2026 election, 2026 election is going to be the turning point, either for good or for bad. As we leave this platform, but not the presence of God, let's pray. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to represent you in what the Christian world or the spiritual world would call the marketplace, the secular, out here in politics and in the community. But that's where we're supposed to be at. When Paul said on Mars Hill, that they had a worship to every God of every name that they knew. But that the inscription said to the unknown God. They didn't know who you were. And Paul says, this is the God I speak of. In him I live and move and have my very being. Lord, even though MAGA, Make America Great Again, is roaring, even though evil people seem to be in control sometimes, even though crime is rampant, even though look like politics may not favor us, you're still in control. You have all power in your hand, and that's why we lift you up. And we leave this platform without your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
I want to say thank God, thank God, thank God. And as I see the deuces glass, I see them. I see the deuces. But as we get out of here, I just want to say this. We say a lot of stuff on this show, but each and every one of us, when we say something, we can kind of back it up, and we're going to put you in a direction. And if you notice, we're also trying to go in a better format where you can kind of follow what we're saying. So you can go back to any point in our videos. If you watch them off air or whatever time, you can go back to them and find out what we were talking about. Do your own research. Look at what was on there. You can pause it like Pastor asked me to do. You can pause it and you can go back and do your own. And I just want to say, it ain't nothing like two gents and a mic. Nothing like two gents and a mic. And I'm going to say it like Glass saying it right now. Deuce out. Thank you, everybody that participated. Deuce out, as the young people say. We out of here.